unveils 170 units of housing project in Agboiketu Local Council Development Area. Federal government threatens to withdraw petrol marketers' licenses over holding. And the foreign United States President optimistic over Gaza ceasefire deal after recent talks. And in sport, Nigeria's representatives at 2024 CAF Champions Club competitions to get $50,000 as appreciation fees. And now the details. I am Mike James. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has unveiled 170 units of housing project at Agboiketu Local Council Development Area of Lagos State. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who commended the chairman of the LCDA for his continuous effort to raise the bar of governance and ensuring purposeful development for people to enjoy the dividends of democracy, noted that local government and local council development areas in the state are working well. The governor pledged to ensure that Lagos will continue to have irreversible trajectory of development in housing, healthcare delivery, education, tourism, as well as road and public transportation solutions. He had this to say.
Within the last 5 years, I think we're number 19 or 20 of various housing estates that we as a state government have handed over, excluding the ones that the local government and the LCDAs are doing. And so you can see that we are about purposeful development, about ensuring that we can provide affordable, safe, secure accommodation for our teeming population. Once again, I want to congratulate the people of Agboiketu for having a working local government chairman.
The chairman of Agboiketu Local Council Development Area, Dele Oshinowo, who expressed gratitude to the Sanwo-Olu administration for the tremendous support, said the housing initiative, spearheaded by his administration through creation of Agboiketu Properties and Investment Board in collaboration with the private sector, aims to align with the Sustainable Development Goals by providing affordable, accessible and quality housing to address housing deficits in the state.
The presence underscores our administration's unwavering commitment to delivering monumental progress across all sectors of governance. I am proud to declare that our residents are thrilled to once again receive you for the third time to inaugurate projects undertaken by our administration. Furthermore, our administration places great emphasis on infrastructure development as a means to enhance human capital and stimulate economic growth.
Oshinowo added that the housing project exemplifies the strongest collaboration with the Themes Plus agenda of the Sanwo-Olu administration. Lagos Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has agreed to partner the Joint Tax Board JTB to encourage his counterparts in other states to embrace new revenue generation drive across the country for the overall benefit of residents. Governor Sanwo-Olu made this pledge when he received the Executive Secretary of the Joint Tax Board, Olusegun Adeshokan, and the management team on a courtesy visit at Lagos House, Ikeja. The governor informed the delegation about the various steps Lagos has taken in this direction and also the recently launched Lagos Revenue Portal to encourage business-friendly environment.
I would work with your office, I will work with my chairman, and I would also pass on message where I will also lead a presentation, close presentation to my colleagues, and we will show, what we need to do and how we can resource, and give them the teeth, and we'll see the changes in the years ahead. We keep saying it that a lot of these states have different capability. Let each one of them be able to identify their core resource areas and let us help to push these things forward, and we can reduce whatever bleeding are happening, whatever leakages are there, and Lagos can also plan.
And earlier, Executive Secretary of the Joint Tax Board, Olusegun Adeshokan, commended the Lagos State government for professionalism of the state's revenue generating authority and all the administration's investment and interventions in health, education, transportation, infrastructural renewal and security.
That's why we are calling on you, Excellency, sir, to champion this agenda amongst your brother governors at the different fora, the FGF, Economic Council, and at your peer review programs. There's need for a change. We should take completely politics from the Revenue Authority administration. They want revenue, it's obvious. They want to generate money. Every governor says that. They give targets. But you must support and resource the man you are giving the target to. And so we decided that there was no other person that would champion this for us than Your Excellency, the Governor of Lagos, where we can see tax money in action.
The Joint Tax Board Executive Secretary had earlier called for consistency in the leadership of tax revenue generating authorities across the country and urged Governor Sanwo-Olu to champion the agenda among his colleagues in other states for overall benefit of Nigerians. The Lagos government has announced traffic diversion at Ikeja along bus stop between Ilese and Cornell Petrol Station on the Oshodi-bound lane from today's 17th to Sunday, 18th of August, between the hours of 12 midnight and 4 a.m. daily to carry out the demolition of the old pedestrian bridge safely. Commissioner for Transportation Oluwaseun Oshiemi noted that following the diversion from Ilese bus stop to Cornell Petrol Filling Station on the Oshodi-bound side of the road, only one lane will be available to motorists to ensure safety. Oshiemi explained that the traffic diversion will not affect motorists on the Dokpemu Abilegba bound side of the road during the course of the demolition. He called for the cooperation of the motoring public, adding that the lanes will be cordoned off with jersey barriers and protective nets to keep motorists and commuters safe during the period of the demolition, while traffic personnel will be on ground. And the Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC in Ogun State has initiated a partnership tagged Operation Show Me Your Driver License with the State Internal Revenue Service. Sector Commander of FRSC in the states, Akinwumi Fashakin, stated this during a courtesy call on the Executive Chairman of OGIRS, Olugbenga Olale. Fashakin commended the leadership of OGIRS for the existing relationship with the Corps, but lamented that some car owners are without license, which had resulted to low returns on road taxes. He noted that the command will soon commence the enforcement exercise, which would force drivers to visit OGIRS for payment of the driver license. Responding, Executive Chairman of OGIRS, Olugbenga Olale, said the agency is willing to synergize with the Corps in enforcing policies on road checks for drivers and vehicle license so that vehicle owners could pay the appropriate fee to the government purse. And on to the rest of the stories. The federal government, through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, has declared that filling stations that hold petrol and those selling to black marketers in jerry cans will have their licenses withdrawn. This is as queues for premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, continued on Friday in Abuja, Niger, Nasarawa, Kaduna, and many other states across the country. Speaking during the inspection in Abuja, the Executive Director of Distribution Systems, Storage and Retailing Infrastructure, NMDPRA, Ogugbo Okoa, warned filling stations to desist from compounding the fuel supply crisis in Nigeria. Okoa said retail petrol stations should stop encouraging the sale of products to black marketers who dispense the products in jerry cans, as it posed serious safety concerns and should be discontinued. Meanwhile, Chairman of Shomolu Local Government of Lagos State, Abdul Hamid Salau, has injected a whopping sum of 50 million naira into the economy of Shomolu Local Government. Salau did this by giving business grants to petty traders, numbering 1,000 with the sum of 50,000 to each beneficiaries. He said the hard work, perseverance and spirit of entrepreneurship of these petty traders are commendable and need to be appreciated at this time of economic slump. Hence, he is resolved to continue to give support to them as they drive the local economy with dedication and resilience. According to the chairman, to give credence to the ingenuity of purpose and the process, he collaborated with the Human Rights Mentoring Agenda, a civil rights organization and anti-corruption agency committed to the advocacy of transparency and credibility in government-citizen relationship. Beneficiaries, while commending Salau for the kind gesture, said the grants would provide the needed boost to their trade and businesses. And looking at some foreign news, United States President Joe Biden says he's optimistic that Gaza ceasefire deal can be reached. Biden, while speaking to reporters, said following the latest round of talks, is increasingly optimistic that a ceasefire deal will soon be agreed upon. He noted that he is sending his Secretary of State to Israel to continue the intensive efforts to conclude this agreement. Amid concerns that Iran may launch an attack on Israel for the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran, President Biden said no one in the region should take action to undermine this process. Meanwhile, Hamas has expressed skepticism about the chance of a deal. And then in sports news, Nigeria's representatives in this year's CAF Champions Club competitions, Enugu Rangers, Remo Stars, Eimba, and El Kanemi Warriors will get $50,000 each as participation fees in the preliminary stages of the competition's league and confederation. CAF announced the newly monetary reward in a statement on Friday. It said the monetary reward is in line with the promise of CAF President Patrice Motsepe to improve club competitions and provide more financial assistance to clubs. The preliminary rounds of matches began on Friday, and the prize money will increase significantly after each stage. Nigerian champions Enugu Rangers and runner-ups Remo Stars are representing the country in the Champions League, while Eimba, who finished third in the NPFL, and President Federation Cup winners El Kanemi Warriors are competing in the Confederation Cup. And that was our news at 10, but just before we go, slow down at road junctions, intersections, and pedestrian crossings. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. And you can also visit our website at www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration revamped the Jigi Bola initiative? Well, you can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Governor's Babajide Sanwo-Olu has unveiled 170 units of housing project in Agboiketu local council development area of Lagos State. The federal government, through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, has declared that filling stations that hoard petrol and those selling to black marketers in jerry cans will have their licenses withdrawn. And we also told you that United States President Joe Biden said he's optimistic that a Gaza ceasefire deal can be reached. And then in sports, Nigeria's representatives in this year's CAF Champions Club competitions, Enugu Rangers, Remo Stars, Eimba, and El Kanemi Warriors will get $50,000 each as participation fees in the preliminary stages of the Champions League and Confederation Cup. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adiwale Olokoroku. Thank you so much, Lagos, for listening in. My name is Mike